Hello. First of all, today we are talking about the great writer, story writer Munshi Premchand, and afterwards we talk about his story, The Shroud. Munshi Premchand, real name was Dhanpat Rai Srivastav. He is famous Hindi and Urdu novelist and short story writer. He had a checkered graph of life. He received his early education at a village school. His two monumental works, Rangbhumi and Godan, are prose epics, not only in their out dimensions but also in their spirit. They present tragic characters, higher values of life, and a full play of elemental passions. In all, Premchand wrote 272 short stories in Hindi characters. This is a simple psychological truth or an intense human emotions is enough to constitute the plot of the story. The story Shroud, that is the kafan in Hindi, uh, testifies to his in the construction of the plot. He no longer takes resort to coincidence or monoverse incidents. The dialogue help develop to the plot as well as the characters. His stories have been collected, published and under the title Mans Sarovara. His work highlighted issues of social concern such as the plight of the child widows and prostitutes, landless laborers, and peasants. Some Hindi critics are of the view that Premchand is a greater story writer than a novelist. Now we are talking about the story Shroud. Is written by great novelist and short story writer Premchand. Then the writer has presented two of the most unappealing character to be found in Hindi fiction, Ghisu and Madhav, a father and a son. Such as characters are alive even today. They are poor, lazy, and great shriekers, like father, like son. Both of them do not care all at all about their own uh, welfare for or for their family. Gisu is a widower whose wife died long ago. The only other character now in the story is in Madhav's wife, Budhya, who is in the those of labor who no help at hand. Even her husband and her father-in-law do not enter to hut where she is lying on the floor and waiting for her death. Premchand tells us about his father and son and duo. Both of them are suffering from poverty and hunger, yet they are determined not to work and earn money for supporting themselves. And Madhava's wife, who is the throes of labor. When Budhya dies without any medical help, they collect some money from the for her cremation and spend it recklessly in drinking a full bottle of wine between themselves and eating purees and fried liver. Then they dance in a drunken state without having any sense of remorse. They spend the money in drinking wine and eating purees, which they had collected for the shroud. Both the father and son were great shriekers and did not work at all to support themselves and to provide medical help to Budhya. They were not notorious for being shriekers. They would rather starve than work. The father would break off some twigs for firewood, and the son would sell it in the market. They had only a few clay pots and tattered rags. They were under debt. People abused and beat them, but they did not care. They were so poor that they could not repay the money borrowed from somebody. Yet some kind-hearted man gave them a little money. They would steal some potatoes or peas from someone's field and roast them or pluck a few sugarcans. Gisu lived is this happy to go lucky for 60 years, and Madhava followed his father very dutifully. That night they were consuming roasted potatoes. Madhav did not move from there too far that in his absence his father would finish off most of the potatoes. Gisu believed if they had a baby, the villagers would help them with money. Gisu told his son about the grand feast at the Thakur's wedding 20 years ago, when he had a hearty meal of delightful delicacies. He regretted that now such feasts are not given by the rich. They went to sleep while Buddhya was still mourning. In the morning, Madhav found that his wife Buddhya had turned cold and the child had died in her womb. Hearing them wailing, the neighbors consoled them. Now they had to worry about the shroud and the prewood. They went crying to meet the village zamidar and told him a lie that whatever they had to was spent on her medicines. The zamidar reluctantly threw the 2 rupees on the ground. After this, the village merchant and money lenders also gave him a little money. Thus they had a tidy sum of 5 rupees, apart from some grain and firewood and bamboo for the pyre. Both the father and the son went to market to buy the shroud, but they talked about the futility of burning a brand new shroud with the corpse. Both of them entered a toddy house, ordered a bottle of wine, some snacks, and fried fish. Madhav declared that his wife was good woman. Even in her death, she ensured them a hearty meal. They had never tasted such food as they had eaten that day. After having fill, Madhav gave leftover puris to a beggar. Both the father and the son were in an incredible state. They sang a ballad and started dancing, uh, grating, and in the end, both of them fell in the drunken stupor. In this story, Budhya, the Madhav's wife, is central to the story, yet we see her only through the eyes of Madhava and Ghisu. It is for her dead body that some shroud is needed to cover it. She had got married to Madhav a year ago. Since then, she has tried establish some order in the life of her husband and father-in-law, and to support these shameless wretches. But with her arrival, the father and the son have become more slothful. Ghisu and Madhav are poor and lazy, and they are completely indifferent to Budhya's welfare. She is in the throes of labor when he this story begins. She is thrashing about the agony of childbirth and giving precise screams. Both of her husband, Madhav, and father-in-law, Ghisu, cares not any medical aid. Ghisu asks Madhav to go inside and in the hut and have a look at her. But Madhav is so heartless that he says if she has to die, why doesn't she get it over and with done with? What can I do by looking at her? He lived his father with her for a whole year, but shows complete in infidelity to her now. In that winter night, Budhya is still mourning when Ghisu and Madhav go off to sleep after eating potatoes and drinking water. Thus, this story is very emotional and sensational story written by Premchand. Thank you.